So now see, the chart that I have shared is a D1 chart, Lagna chart. So when you are going to find out various kind of charts, then first thing is those who are using this AstroSage app, they must click at the center of the options given, and you will find Lagna is written as D1, Hora is written as D2, Drikana is written as D3, Chaturmansa D4, Saptamansa D7, Navamsa D9, Dasamansa D10, Dvadasansa D12, Sodasansa D16, Vinsansa D20, and so on. So many charts are there, and D stands for divisional chart. So that's why Lagna chart is a single division of 30 degree D1 chart. So what is that? 30 degree has been divided into only one part. So that is why it is D1. And every Rasi is of how many degrees? 30 degree, isn't it? There are 12 signs in the zodiac, 12 Rasi in the zodiac. Total zodiac is 360 degree. So each house and each Rasi is equal to 30 degree. In Vedic astrology, we will consider that 0 to 30 degree is Aries sign, 30 to 60 is Taurus sign, 60 to 90 is Gemini sign, 90 to 120 degree is Cancer sign, 120 to 150 is Leo sign, 150 to 180 is Virgo sign, 180 to 210 is Libra sign, 210 to 240 is Scorpio sign, 240 to 270 degree is Sagittarius sign, 270 to 300 degree is the Capricorn sign, 300 to 330 degree is the Aquarius sign, and 330 to 360 is the last sign of the Kalpurush Kundli, that is Pisces sign. Clear? So every particular Rasi can be divided into many number of equal parts. So now what you are doing is, you have some 12 students or some 12 children, and you are trying to distribute prasad of Ma Durga's puja. After completing that Durga puja, you are going to distribute some of the sweets, or you can say some of the fruits among those 12 children. Now you have to consider that every children is associated with, say, 30 items to be distributed. 30. So in other words, I can say, if each child is compared to one of the Rasi, then the Rasi has a total degree of 30 degree. So now when you are dividing the whole chart in such a way that this 30 degree constitutes one division, 30 degree is only one division. So what chart you will get? Anybody who can say? Which chart you are going to get?
Lagna chart, sir.
Lagna chart.
D1.
D1.
So D1 chart we are going to get. That ultimately means the 30 degree has been divided into only one part. There is only one division in each 30 degree. So now remember the condition. What we are going to do is, we are going to divide the 30 degree into a number of different parts. And accordingly, we name that chart. It's D1 if it is only divided into one part. Hora if it is divided into two parts. That is otherwise known as D2 chart. Similarly, when we are going to divide 30 degree into three equal parts, then that will be what chart? D3 chart, because it is 3 division of the degree calculation associated with a single Rasi or single house, or you can say single sign. Similarly, you can go forward and divide 30 degree into 4 parts, divide 30 degree into 7 parts, divide 30 degree into 9 parts. and divide 30 degree into 10 parts. Accordingly, you are getting divisional chart 4, divisional chart 7, divisional chart 9, divisional chart 10, and these charts are very much important. If you are going to give 70% weightage to the D1 chart, then you must also give 50% of the weightage to your D9 chart. All the charts are important for specific purpose. For example, if you are going to have a microscopic view of the 9th house, how is your bhagya? What is your association of bhagya with your spouse? What you have done in the last birth? Which planet is actually very much strong in your D1 and D9 chart? For which planet you have to actually work very hard to get the benefit or to get the blessings of the planet. That means actually what you have done in your past life or in your past days of this particular life, what you have been doing till death, that has a particular kind of information stored inside your D9 chart. So now, again coming back, that ultimately means if we are going to divide 30 degree into 9 equal parts and accordingly we are going to arrange something, then we can also have a kind of chart which can be termed as Navamansa chart or D9 chart. Why Navamansa? Because it is the 9th division of a particular Rasi we are using for making that chart. So now if we are having some idea about what job we are doing, what is the prospect of our job, whether we will get promoted or not, whether we will get a government job or not, then we are going to actually find the microscopic view of our 10th house. So that ultimately means I have to now divide the Rasi into 10 equal parts. That will be your Dasamansa chart. Dasam means 10. Dasanan, a person having 10 heads. Ravan is referred to as Dasanan. So accordingly, Dasamansa. Navam, that is 9th. Navamansa, Ram Navami, that falls on the 9th day. So now accordingly, the nomenclature gives you the clear idea about what we are going to get. So I have shared a chart. I have also shared a division of using a particular table to find out. So I will do that with the chart of Konarkji, who has shared the chart, isn't it? So let's see. Now what you have to do is, you have to simply focus on any particular planet I am going to name. And there is enough time to learn the thing slowly. Don't be in a hurry. I can be in the hurry because I have been doing this for the last 20 years. But you are learning something. So have patience. No need to answer simultaneously. And no need to answer in a hurried way. Because I always feel that teaching, learning, and particularly learning the sacred science called Jyotish requires a very good Jupiter in your chart. And a good Jupiter can be achieved only by having a very good, calm, quiet, and balanced mind. Because Jupiter is exalted in the house of Chandrama. So the foundation for learning is a cool, calm, quiet, and serene mind. Those who are not having a mind of serenity, of bliss, of patience, and of calmness, they cannot learn any particular thing in a very brilliant way. They will be always average and less than average learners. So my humble request is, have a cool mind to understand how we are going to proceed. So as I am talking about mind, so see, in the chart which has been shared, their moon is in the sign of Leo and in the 4th house. So what I am going to do is, those who are not acquainted with this North Indian chart, because of that request, I just want to share the particular details of the person whose chart we are discussing. So this is the description. You can take the screenshot and you can find out the South Indian chart for your reference also. but I am going to use the North Indian chart and I am acquainted with North Indian chart. So those who are interested, kindly take the screenshot of this, note down the time, place, and also the date of birth and find out the chart for your reference. So what I am doing is, I am trying to find out where moon is going to go in the D9 chart. So now in the D1 chart, moon is in the 4th house, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
In the D1 chart, moon is in the 4th house. So now if I am going to check D9 chart, that is the Navamsa chart. Where is the moon?
In Lagna.
Moon is in Lagna. That means moon has moved from which sign to which sign?
Leo to Cancer.
It was in the Leo sign in D1 chart, but the same moon is now in the Lagna
Cancer
or the
sign.
Cancer sign of the D9 chart. Information number 1. Kindly note it down. We are going to proceed forward. Okay. So what is the first condition? We have the chart of Konarkji, whose details I have shared. We found that moon is in the Leo sign and in his 4th house in the D1 chart. And the very same moon has moved to its own sign of Cancer, and that is the 1st house of the D9 chart. Any doubt? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Then why this has become a place of change for moon? Anybody if not having doubt? So now that means we all are full of doubts and we have to find out certain methodology so that without using the app we can calculate. Yes, moon is going to come to this sign in the D9 chart. So let's start that. That is what actually advance is. There can be a philosophy for every particular problem in life. There can be also a mathematical reason for finding out the placement of the planets. Why a particular planet is in the 5th sign in D1, in the 9th sign in D10, in the 6th sign in D4, and why there is a change of place. So that is why we are going to first use the table that was initially shared. So now I am going to again show you the table, take screenshots, and also take, what you are going to do is the notes with every particular information that you are getting. So now have a clear look on the table given. What you can find? Suppose somebody is going to divide the Aries sign. So what is the degree of Aries? Aries is 30 degree. Now this 30 degree will be divided into how many parts?
9 parts.
9 parts. Why 9 parts?
Navamsha.
Because
Nine
we are
division.
calculating the Navamsa chart, isn't it? We are calculating the Navamsa chart. So that is why the first step is we have to divide 30 degree into 9 parts. Suppose you are going to calculate the Sansa chart, then what you will do?
10
10
parts.
divisions.
So you do 10 divisions. So that is the first step of mathematics involved. 9 division means we are calculating the Navamsa chart. 10 division means we are calculating the Dasamamsa chart. 2 divisions we are calculating the Hora chart. 4 division we are calculating the Chaturmamsa chart. Isn't it? The name suggests what you are going to do. Can anybody say how many padas are there in a single nakshatra?
4.
4
4 pada.
padas. So in 30 degree, how many nakshatras should be there?
2 nakshatra and 1/4 third.
2 or 3.
2 nakshatra and 1/4. That means how many padas should be there?
9.
9 padas. And I hope everybody can answer this, isn't it? Because 3 degree 20 minute refers to one part out of 4 parts of a nakshatra. So now ultimately, if there are 4 padas in a single nakshatra, then in 26 degree 40 minutes, there should be 8 nakshatra and will remain with another pada of the third nakshatra. So a total of 9 padas are there in 30 degree division, or every particular sign is associated with how many nakshatra padas?
9.
9 padas. So that means in Navamansa chart, every particular pada of a nakshatra refers to one division. So what is the division of a single nakshatra pada? 3 degree 20
20
minutes.
minutes.
Because the nakshatra has 13 degree 20 minutes in total. If we are going to divide it into equal 4 parts, that will be 4 padas of the nakshatra. Each pada of the nakshatra is of 3 degree and 20 minutes. Clear? So now see, suppose you are going to start division with Aries. Then the first division will be which degree? What is the expansion of that first division of the Navamansa chart?
0 to 3 degree 20 minutes.
0 to 3 degree 20 minutes, isn't it? Because D9 depends upon dividing a particular sign into 9 parts. A sign is of 30 degree and every sign is associated with 9 nakshatra padas. So that ultimately means each division is equal to expansion of 1 nakshatra pada. See, we are starting the advanced course. So whenever there is difficulty, kindly raise question, because you are paying for this course. I am not under some kind of, you can say, flexibility to teach whatever I like. There must be some check and bounce, and students are always there to help his teacher grow as a teacher. So now what you have to do is, whenever there is doubt, you ask me to slow down or you ask me to repeat. Because if you are not going to understand the basics, then let me tell you, you cannot also find out the reason behind why we say this remedy should be done. This is how you have spent your past. This is how your married life is going to be. This is why you are not getting success from the hard work you are doing. Because all these things are associated with the 9th divisional chart. Divisional chart. Your bhagya, your higher education, your father, your dharma, everything that we are going to see is from the 9th house. So now this is a microscopic view of the 9th house, your past, your dharma, your father, and also the gain of this house is the marriage or the married life of a person. Because you can simply find out from 9th house, the house of spouse, 7th house is 11th away. Gain from the D9 chart. So that is why the kind of marriage, the type of hardship a person is going to face in marriage, all are seen from the divisional chart number 9, that is D9 chart. Because gain is associated with death. 7th house shows the gain with respect to study of the D9 chart. So most of the people usually say, sir, what we are going to do is, actually we are also going to study the D9 chart properly, so that we can find out how the marriage is going to be for the person whose chart we are studying. So now the direct relationship is 7th is 11th away from the 9th. So what is your gain in bhagya? That can be seen from the kind of married life you have. So that is why some of the people usually say that after marriage, this particular chart is activated. But that is not the case. If something is going to represent your past, then how it can activate after a point of time in the future? It is already activated. This will say how you are going to have a kind of marriage. So you have to study that deeply. So now see, to cut short, I can say if I am going to divide a particular 30-degree division of a sign into 9 equal parts, as I have divided the zodiac into 12 parts, and I have already told 0 to 30, 30 to 60. In this manner, I can also divide the 9 parts like this. 0 to 3 degree 20 minute. 0 to 3 degree 20 minute, and that is also written in the table I have shared. I will tell you how to use the table. Then I will tell you how to actually study the D9 chart. So 0 to 3 degree 20 minute is the first division. 3 degree 20 minute to 6 degree 40 minute is the second division. 6 degree 40 minute to 10 degree is the third division. 10 degree to 13 degree 20 minute is the fourth division. 13 degree 20 minute to 16 degree 40 minute is the fifth division. 16 degree 40 minute to 20 degree is the sixth division. Similarly, 20 to 23 degree 20 minute is the seventh division. 23 degree 20 minute to 26 degree 40 minute is the eighth division. And that 26 degree 40 minute to 30 degree is the last division, that is the ninth division. That is also written in the left hand column of the chart that I have shared, so you can refer to that. And it is not a rocket science. First pada of the nakshatra is the first division. Second pada of the nakshatra is the second division. Third pada of the nakshatra is the third division. Fourth pada of the nakshatra is the fourth division. Then comes the next nakshatra. First pada of the second nakshatra is the fifth division. Second pada is sixth division. Third pada is seventh division. Fourth pada is eighth division. So 2 nakshatra ends at 26 degree 40 minute. You are left with the first pada of the third nakshatra. So take the real example. What is the name of the first nakshatra which falls in Aries?
Ashwini.
Ashwini. So Ashwini has 4 padas. So you can see the first 4 padas of this Ashwini nakshatra constitutes the first 4 divisions of the D9 chart associated with Aries sign. Clear?
Yes, sir.
What is the
सर
second
ये
nakshatra?
टेबल सर ये टेबल दिख नहीं रहा आपको।
वो explain करेंगे. I will enlarge it and I will explain. Okay.
ओके
So
Sir, one question, sir.
so the second nakshatra has also 4
Bharat-
divisions. So we are going to have the 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th ones from the second nakshatra. Now we have the third nakshatra. So now from the third nakshatra, we will have the only first pada constituting the 9th division of the Aries sign. So once it is over, then again you can start with the Taurus sign and Gemini sign and so on. So now see how to use the chart. I have enlarged it. Now it is very much clear, isn't it?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
हाँ जी.
सर ये आपने सर जो 4 पाथ बोले सर, तो ये 4 सर मतलब 9th हो गए, तो अगर सर ये मतलब D10 होता तो एक नक्षत्र के 10 होते क्या पाथ? क्योंकि सर
हाँ
normally
10
एक
डिवीजन
नक्षत्र-
करेंगे, 3-3 डिग्री का डिवीजन होगा. बट डोंट आस्क द क्वेश्चन, ठीक है? आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू लीव D10 ऑल्सो. At the time, focus on this.
Okay,
How
sir.
9 divisions are calculated. If D10, then 10 divisions will be calculated. If D20, then how many divisions will be calculated? You tell me.
So sir, this sir means these nakshatra will be also divided into these sections.
Yes. So
Okay.
actually, the point is, it is not compulsory that you are going to actually divide the nakshatras.
Okay.
Suppose you are having a 3 degree division, then again the nakshatra will be divided in terms of 3 degree, 3 degree, 3 degree. Here we are
Okay.
dividing in terms of 3 degree 20 minutes. Why? Because if somebody is going to mathematically calculate 3 degree 20 minute into 9, that will be equal to 30 degree.
Okay.
3 degree 20 minute multiplied with 9 is equal to 30 degree. You can calculate.
Okay.
Let me also say some mathematics on this. 3 degree into 9, how many degrees? 27 degrees, isn't it? 3
Yes.
degree into
Yes.
9 is 27 degree. And what
Yes.
about the multiplication of 20 minute into 9? Anybody who can say? How many minutes? 180 minute. 20
Yes.
into 9 is equal to 180 minute. How many degrees? 60 minute is 1 degree or 1 hour. So that means this is 3
3
degree.
minutes.
So the total is 27 plus 3, 30 degree, isn't it? So this is the calculation. Suppose somebody is going to make D10 chart. Then 3 degree will be equal to each division. So 3 into 10, how many degrees?
30.
30 degree. So now this 30 is being divided in every divisional chart. So suppose there is D1 chart. So 30 into 1, how many degrees?
30.
So that is why it is only one division. Say Hora chart, D2 chart. So 15 into 2, that means each division will be of 15 degree.
Yes.
Suppose somebody is finding out D20 chart. He can find out. I will say the significance of each of the chart because this is the advanced course. And once you know this, you know it for lifetime. A person is coming to you for taking consultation. You can simply say that even if the chart is very good, the person has not done actually the duty which needed to be done in his past life. So that is why he is not getting the benefit of your D1 chart. So this will show the path that you have followed. How your Bhagya has shaped. What is Bhagya? When we have no control on what is happening, then that is our Bhagya, isn't it?
Yes.
So the past thing that you have done already, you have no control on it. You have already done. You cannot change it. So that is also part of your Bhagya. Because you cannot change your past. But people have other kind of saying. There is the future which is stagnant, constant. You cannot change the destiny. You cannot change the future. All the fools of the world usually focus on the future, and the fool which are of a higher degree, they focus always on the past. And the most intelligent people in the world, they focus on their present. They plan their future by working on the present, and they usually avoid indulging into so much of their past because they cannot change. You cannot change what you have done yesterday, but you can definitely change what you are going to do in the coming 15 minutes, coming 10 minutes. So that is in your hand. So why to worry about the things that you have done in the past? But as an astrologer, you can definitely predict the future by seeing that this person in a given situation of time is always going to misbehave with ladies. The person has a bad Venus. He cannot actually respect relationship. You have found so many persons in your office or in your workplace where they have actually no respect for the ladies. They usually misbehave, comment, use slang, use derogatory words, double meaning words. So now that person has a very poor Venus. So even if his Venus is very powerful in the D1 chart, because of the idiotic behavior, that nonsense has reduced his Venus to caricature only. And those persons who do not have respect for Ma Venus, they have no respect for Ma Lakshmi, and they are always going to suffer in the long run. So now, without bothering about how beautifully his Venus is placed from the D9 chart, you will definitely predict that if this is the path you are following, then remember, your D1 will not help you. So the thing that we cannot help, cannot change, is part of our destiny, and our past is definitely part of our D9 chart or the destiny. Because we have made the road till date by traversing or moving or going forward on a particular path that we have chosen to move in our past. So how can you change the destiny then? By changing your path. You cannot change the past path, but what you can change is you can change your current path. So that is why D9 is very important. Somebody has not studied medical science. Will he become a doctor? He will not. He can become a fake doctor. Like that Munna Bhai MBBS, he can show I have this degree, he can practice, he can sell some paracetamol tablets or he can inject some distilled water into the patient's body. He can be a fake doctor, but he will never be a doctor because in the past he has not studied the mandatory course of medicine for becoming the doctor. So it is the reason why D9 is very important. That shows actually what kind of person you have become. D1 shows what kind of person you are likely to become. The potential to become someone can be seen from the first D1 chart, and what you have actually become is seen from the D9 chart. So now let's come to this. So suppose you are going to divide 9 divisions of Aries, and tell me, who do you give the first division? To which sign you will give the first division?
Aries only.
Aries.
Aries only. Remember this law. Whenever you are dividing something, the first person always goes to the person in whose name the division starts. Suppose you are dividing the Sun Dasa, then who will have the first Antardasa?
Mars.
Sun
The
will
sun.
have the first Antardasa. Okay. If you are going to divide the Moon Dasa, who will have the first Antardasa?
Moon.
Moon.
Moon will have the first Antardasa. If you are going to divide the 9 parts of Aries into 9 different planets or 9 different signs. Now, if I am saying sign, then the first division should go to which part? Aries itself.
Yes.
You are dividing degree of Aries into different signs. So now only 9 divisions are there. Then first division will go to which sign? Aries. Second division,
Taurus.
Taurus.
third division,
Gemini,
fourth division.
Cancer,
Cancer.
So nothing to remember actually. This formula goes on like this. So where the division will end? In which sign it will end?
Pisces.
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius,
Sagittarius.
Who is saying Pisces? Only 9 divisions are there. So when you start from Aries, definitely it will end at the 9th sign, isn't it? Because there are no more divisions to distribute. So where it will end? Sagittarius is the 9th sign. Are you getting it? Everybody?
Yes.
So now tell me, first division of the Vrishabh Rasi will fall in which sign?
Capricorn.
Capricorn,
Why Capricorn?
because after the 9th, the 10th sign will come. So that's why Capricorn. The 9
Okay,
get
then-
finished in Aries.
Then again you will start dividing like this 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can find out that this division will also end at Virgo, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
So now
Yes.
tell me one question. All of you, take your time and there should not be any hurry. Even if I have framed this course for 6 months, if it is required, and I understand the students are actually improving and they have interest to learn, without adding a single penny to the course, I can continue it for 2 years also. So don't worry, we have enough time. So now tell me, if a particular planet is at 21 degree in the Aries sign, then to which sign it will fall in the D9 chart? Let me repeat the question again. So a planet is at 21 degree in the Aries sign in your D1 chart. Clear? Now my
Libra.
question is, to which
Libra.
sign it will fall in D9 chart?
Libra.
Libra.
Libra. So you can see there from 20 degree to 23 degree 20 minutes, whoever is the planet that will fall into which sign?
Libra.
Libra. But say I change the question. My question is, suppose the planet is instead of in Aries sign, it is in the Taurus sign at 21 degree. Now tell me, to which division
Cancer.
it will fall?
Cancer.
Cancer.
Why? Because again the table shows this. The table is showing na?
Yes.
From this particular degree to this degree. And why it is happening? Because there is a calculation of 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, then 10, 11, 12, again 9 places, then 7, 8. So if we know every first division of a particular sign is associated with this number, then without taking the help of computer or calculator, you can find out the falling of planets into different signs, isn't it? So this is the table I have given. Now see how it is going. In Mesh, the very first division starts at which Rasi? Aries Rasi.
Yes.
Yes.
That means say planet is at 2 degree in the Aries sign in your D1 chart. Now where it will fall in the D9 chart?
Aries.
Same Aries. You can see the table and see. If a planet is in the Mesa sign at 2 degree, that is the first division of the Mesa sign. D9 division se first division hai. Then it is falling into Aries. So now in D1 chart it is in Aries. Also D9 chart it is in Aries. What is the word used for saying this particular position of a planet?
Bhargottam.
That is referred to as Vargottam.
Vargottam.
Means the Rasi of the D1 for a planet and the Rasi of the D9 of a planet are same, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So that ultimately means somebody is having D1 chart moon exalted and D9 chart moon exalted. What does it mean?
Bhargottam.
Moon is Vargottam. Now if moon is Vargottam, then that ultimately means that particular person is endowed with huge potential of the moon. That means he has a very fertile mind. He has great mental acumen. But you found that even if moon is Vargottam, that person has not improved a lot in his life. Then what is the reason for that? Anybody who can say?
So can you repeat the question?
So suppose you found in a chart that the moon is exalted. The moon is exalted in the Taurus sign, isn't it?
Yes.
And in the D1 chart also moon is in Taurus. And also D9 chart moon is in Taurus. Then moon is said to be Vargottam. But you found that the person who is having the moon as Vargottam has not actually achieved a lot of things. Despite having a very good mind, despite having lot of intelligence, you can say the power of moon, having a sharp mind, but he has not improved or he has not actually gained proportionately. What you will say?
इसका
Sir,
willing
other
power.
planet impact on moon that we have to see.
So you have to see how the moon is being impacted, and also you have to see actually what the person has done in his past life. So that is why the karma principle is very important. You are doing a karma of learning astrology regularly. Then you will definitely find that after some days, there will be tremendous improvement in your understanding of astrology. Just because you are doing it regularly. And when you have love for a particular thing, then you have also great interest to use that particular learning in your future endeavors. So love is the best requirement for learning something. You must love the particular thing. So now who is repeating love in the chart?
Venus.
Venus. And who is representing the sharp mind?
Moon.
Moon. So that is why moon is exalted in the sign of Venus. Are you getting it? That is why moon is exalted in the sign of Venus. Because moon has a mind to love, to understand, to use the mental ability for solving problems, and he must derive love in doing so. So that is why every time people say, when you fall in love with the job you are doing, you are definitely going to progress. So now again love is Venus. And what job you are doing is Saturn. And Saturn is exalted in the sign of Venus. So now the logic is always there in the universe. I understood it at the age of 47. I am trying to explain it to all of you. Maybe at the age of 30, 20, 25, 45, you all are listening. So this is the beauty of astrology. Unless you are going to love the profession that you are doing, you will never progress in life. Unless you have a mind endowed with love and affection for the thing that you are learning, you will never get the blessing of Ma Durga or Ma Lakshmi, you can say. Because moon is exalted in the sign of Venus, so is the Saturn, isn't it? So now what is the relationship between moon and Saturn in the exaltation chart? Both are exalted in the sign of Venus. But see the sign, they are 6 and 8 from each other, isn't it?
Yes.
So
Yes.
that is why it is never easy to love the work and love whatever you are doing. Because Saturn and moon are inimical to each other. We do not understand also. So that is why we do not love. When you are not having any job, you always try to find money by doing something. You actually die for earning money. But when you find a job, the other day you start speaking, this is not a good job. I don't like the job. There are so many problems associated with the job. Why? Because moon is your mind, the sign of happiness, and Saturn is the karma that you are doing. So naturally, you should not and you cannot love your job. That is the natural position. And that is true for 95% of people who work and do not love their work. Only 5% are there who love their work and who do their work with a happy mind. So they are the successful people. So now there is a great logic between the dispositor and the planet which is exalted or debilitated inside the dispositor. So you
No.
must have, okay.
So we can say that if Saturn is exalted, that means the person will love his work.
No, this is the other way around. A person who loves the work, his Saturn will behave like exalted. Having an exalted planet does not mean the person is actually having the quality of the planet. Suppose you are very intelligent, you know a lot of mathematics, but you are not using your mathematics for the last 20 years. What will happen to your mathematics?
It will die.
Rust.
It will die. So this is the logic. Those actually who want to prosper in life, they must understand that these are not the gifts of God. God never gives us gifts of a job, of progress, of success, everything. What God gives is intelligence, opportunity, hardworking capabilities, the kind of, you can say, nature to take risk. This is what we are actually going to get. How we are going to use, that is the key of success. Because on the
Sir.
very same day of the birth of that Mukesh Ambani, if we are going to find out the charts, some lakh people would have been born. But what happened to them? What happened to the energies they have carried? Jupiter is exalted in the sign of Cancer for one whole year. That means everybody who is going to born in a particular year where Jupiter is placed in Cancer, all will be the greatest of the greatest in wisdom and knowledge. Is it so?
No, sir.
No.
No.
So that is why don't put so much of emphasis in understanding half-baked astrology. Even if you have all the capabilities, you can also learn how to fire a gun, but you cannot kill a person. For killing, knowledge is not important. Actually, hitting the target and pressing the trigger is also important. So your chart is just like having a gun in the hand. And what you are doing with the gun is like the energy that has been given to you and how much you are using it. So I always feel that moon travels all the 12 signs in 30 days. So that means in every month, some 3 days are there where moon is exalted. So there must be some, you can say, 15% person in the world who will always be having exalted moon. Similarly, some 10% who will be always having exalted Jupiter. and 10% having exalted Mars. So if we are going to count the exaltation degrees and find at least having 2 exalted planet or 1 exalted planet, then we will definitely find some 50% chart where at least there are 1 or 2 planets exalted. But the success ratio is only 5%, isn't it? So what is truth should be considered as the best thing in the world. Astrology also says that you need to find out the truth. Even if we have 7 planets in 7 same houses and we are born in the same year. I have seen many charts where 1977 born, people having Saturn in the sign of Leo, people having Jupiter in the sign of that Gemini, and people having Virgo and Virgo with Rahu. I have seen. Even in the very same institute we are reading or we are teaching, there are 10 different people who would be having the very same planets, 4-5 planets as you have. But their paths are different, their destiny are different, and they have become different person, even if they are doing the same job. So now, I request all of you never to neglect the power of Saturn in your chart. That is why 10th house is considered as the best square house. Karma comes first, then your bhagya. Suppose you are having a bank balance, then only you can spend, na? It is not the other way around. People who actually take the help of credit card, loan, or cheating, they overspend things and they also suffer a lot. They never say, I am suffering, but you have to find out how they are suffering. So that is why when we are doing karma, you have a bhagya to spend because bhagya is 12 from karma, isn't it? It is not the other way around. You have to first work hard. Then only we will have a bhagya. Some people will say, my father has a lot of money. I am born into a rich family. I have a big bhagya. But what you are telling as bhagya may not be your bhagya. Abhishek Bachchan is the son of Amitabh ji. He may feel that he has bhagya, but his bhagya is working just the opposite way. He may have great potential of acting, but because of his father, he will always be compared and he will never be given the respect he deserves as an actor.
True.
So it is not always very cozy thing to have a particular thing as a gift from God. You may not value the thing or your value may diminish because of comparison between the thing that you have already achieved without doing anything. People will say, he is the son of Amitabh Bachchan, that's why he is getting 1 or 2 movies. Otherwise, he would be selling peanuts in the cinema hall. People are very good at commenting. And the people who are very small, they can make very big comments. So always avoid small people because they talk very big and their comments are very powerful and they are as little as comparison to the size of their comment, they are peanuts. But there will always be people saying, कुछ तो लोग कहेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. So my request is, don't go by the potential of your planets. Your mind has huge potential. You can think about America, you can think about the galaxy within a split second. But you are going to use only 4 to 5% of your mind. The power which has been given by God, you are going to only use 5 to 6% of that. Even if you have the ability and efficiency to use more than that, but you are not doing it. So your destiny, your power in the D1 chart is just like that. 100% efficiency is there. But how much you are going to use? Only 5 and 6%. So those who are going to use 10% of the power, they will definitely have a huge advancement in life. So never be happy that you have been given so many things. You should be happy only when you know how to use them. Unless you use them, they will become redundant. Like the question I have asked. If you know a lot of mathematics, but you are not using the mathematics for 20 years, what will happen to your mathematics? It will die a slow death. So your karma will always make you alive. Your bhagya will always die a slow death when you will stop working. So karma is important than your bhagya. And why it is important? Because your bhagya has been made by the kind of karma you have done. I don't go into the past life. I can do that. But your past 10 years, 5 years will say actually what you have achieved. How much efficiently you have used your potential given by D1 chart. So D9 is a measure of that, whether you are using or not using. Any question?
Sir, I have a question.
This is called reverse engineering. What you know, you have to again find out. So now it will take time. You have to make a lot of calculation. You have to find out. So that is why I always want you to learn the mathematics. So now let's get back to it. Have the direct question. Where is Mercury?
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Mercury is in Aquarius. So find out the degree of the planet. What degree?
3 degree.
5 minutes,
5 minutes.
30
Mercury is the first division, isn't it?
It is Nanisha.
Mercury is in the first division, 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes. In which sign?
Aquarius.
In the sign of Aquarius. Now get back to the table again so that you can get Libra as the answer. And if you get the Libra as the answer, then I will directly come to explain how to read the D9 chart. See, Libra. And we have to also find out the degree, first division of Libra. Okay, Tula. So Libra sign. And we have to also find out Aquarius sign, isn't it? Because this particular sign is Aquarius, isn't it?
Yeah. Yes.
Aquarius and the first division. Here it is written Kumbha, isn't it? And what is the sign written?
Libra.
Libra. And your Mercury in Libra, isn't it? So what are the steps to calculate? We have to use this table to understand. And we have to apply our mind to calculate. So the first condition is Mercury was in Aquarius sign. Mercury was in the first division of the Aquarius sign. Are these informations correct? In the given chart, Mercury was in Aquarius and Mercury was at 3 degree 5 minutes.
Correct.
Yes.
Sir.
So it is in the first division, isn't it?
Yes.
And what is the first
Yeah.
division of D9 chart? 0 to 3 degree 20 minutes. So any planet within this range, say 3 degree 19 minutes, then also it is in the first division, isn't it?
Yes.
What you have to do is then go to the sign, because the sign here is what? The sign is Kumbha, Aquarius, and the first division. So under it, in the first place, it is written 7. So Mercury will go into the Libra sign. So I hope these two examples are enough, because today I can share the recording after 1 hour. You can listen to it. You can also find out. So
Prabhati, question tha.
Haji Aditi.
When you said that reverse देखना है, that could be 3 options when we are looking at the D9 chart. This Mercury could be in any of the 3 options. It could be in Tula, Aquarius, yeah, the one with Cancer.
Okay.
So,
Then
or
also we have
rather,
to find out, because Mercury can be easily find out using the chart of Sun.
okay,
Mercury always near to Sun, near to Venus. You can find out. My
Okay.
point is, really, at least you know that yes, this can be the sign, isn't it? So
Okay.
7 is the sign. You can kindly find out the number is not repeated.
okay, understood.
So that is why from the degree it can be easily calculated. But it will
Okay.
take some time. I
Okay,
want
thank
all
you.
of, okay, those who want to actually do good in astrology. Because see, astrology has huge potential. Do you know why? Because everybody loves astrology. And there are very dearth of good astrologers in world. All are trying to make money only. Most of them are just bluffing people. When you do not know anything, anybody can be a good astrologer, isn't it? When you do not know anything, you are relying 100% on the doctor, then any doctor can be a good doctor. But how do you know that? Only when you get treated and your problem never goes away. Then only you know that he is not a good doctor. But what if you are going to be killed by the doctor? Will you know in lifetime that he is not a good doctor?
No.
In no way, na? So you must understand this. A single opportunity lost is actually a huge loss. Just a minute. Huh?